Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Joy of Puzzles. I have for you today another in the Disney Villainous collection. This is the Evil Queen puzzle. It was published in 2020 by Ravensburger. Ravensburger has been around since 1883. They were originally founded in Germany, and they released their first board games back in 1884. For three generations, they focused on just educational publications and games, and they didn't produce their first jigsaw puzzle until the 60s. They're currently a $60 million company with over 2,000 employees around the world, but primarily located in Europe. And while in their inventory they don't have the largest puzzles ever made, they do offer two amazing choices of 40,000 pieces, both of which are Disney themed. They measure 22.5 feet by 6.5 feet in size. It's say on the wish list someday when I have an empty room in the house to build it in, because it will take an empty room. I've included a link to their website. Pretty interesting little company. I shouldn't say little. Now, the puzzle itself, there is no artist specifically given. You'd have to go back and rent Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to see the list of artists that participated in making this iconic film. So go rent that with your kids and appreciate the movie. Moving on to the strategy. I have a number of these Disney Villainous puzzles, and I learned after the first one, the Hades puzzle that I just did, that there really is no point in trying to make the border. The border is essentially monochrome with a line through it, a border, like a trim. Building that on its own is doable, but not time well spent. So, knowing that going in this time, we didn't even attempt it. We just took the edge pieces, sorted them out so we wouldn't keep looking at them, and tossed them in a box and put them on the side. And then after that, we went for the most obvious starting point, which is the bright purple statuette that's in the center, and then the bright purple colors that are around it, almost like an aura, and the frames that they touch. Then all these puzzles in this series have small pictures and frames and scenes, so again, based on our experience from doing the Hades ones, we kind of knew that was the right place to go, so we picked out some bright colors and then focused on building the frames. With two people on it, it is a little haphazard. We kind of attack different things on our own half of the puzzle, and we trade the little trays of puzzle pieces every now and again when we feel like we've hit a dry spell as far as building goes. So once we had built enough individual frames and pictures, we put them where they kind of go, and then you start filling in all the spaces in between. Not a lot of hunt and peck methodology at the end there. There's enough features that you don't feel like that's what you're spending all your time doing. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle, and for the two of us, it took 5 hours to build. So I would say it's pretty good, pretty average speed for two people. Moving on to the puzzle review. I'm going to review this puzzle in 4 categories on a scale of 1 to 5. The first category is the puzzle material quality, the paper itself, the paperboard. How good is this material? Ravensburger uses a blue chip recycled material. I'm going to give it a 3, which for recycled material is above average. I'd say most recycled materials I feel like are a 2. But this one, I'll give it a 3. My only continuous complaint, and I have like 5 of these built that I'm doing videos for at the same time. For some reason, this material leaves behind a fine blue dust or powder over all of my nice clean white trays, so I have to wash them every time. It's It's the only puzzle brand in my collection that seems to do that. But anyways, the material is a 3. The next category is the puzzle cut quality. The pieces themselves. Do they fit together cleanly? Is there any doubt where you put them? I'm going to give this just the average 3. Right where they should be. Nothing special per se, but at the same time, no real issues. Never felt like I was really struggling to fit the pieces where they probably belong. So I'm going to give it a 3. The next category is difficulty. Well, the puzzles of this nature, with all these little subframes and pictures, are not very difficult. Most of the pieces, when you pull them out, except for some of the vague trim pieces between pictures, you kind of already know where they go. We go through the trays and be like, okay, I'm going to pull all of the red pieces, and you put all the red pieces down, and you build 4 or 5 things in the puzzle. Okay, let's pull the bright golden pieces, and you quickly find all of the pieces that go together, and you build little subsets of the puzzle without a problem. So I'm going to give this a difficulty of a 2. The fourth and most subjective of the categories is frameability. If I was the type of person that built a puzzle only once and sealed it and hung it on a wall, would this be on that list? Again, very subjective. I'm going to give this one a 3, right in the middle. Average. This, to me, almost is a poster. I don't play the game. This is all based on a game of some kind. I'm sure if I had a young adult living in the house and they loved this game, they would want these posters. So, to me, it's a poster quality kind of image that would inspire a young adult, and they'd want it hanging in their room, probably want the whole collection of them. So I'm going to give this a 3 for frameability. What else can I say? This whole series, frankly, has been a lot of fun. I have several more queued up. They are decent quality, like I said, right where they should be, right in the average. There's no real downside. You don't feel like you're struggling with the puzzle, and we've done these mostly in just 2 sessions. So those 5-hour builds, 2 and 3 hour sessions, because you get on a roll. The puzzle kind of has a flow to it as far as what you're building, and when you start picking colors and how it all fits together. And it's funny, we do find little spots that just somehow we both end up avoiding and don't build to the end, and it's not intentional, but the pieces in those sections of the puzzle just aren't bright and attract the eye, so you just up at the end with all the random dark pieces. That it's the equivalent to building a puzzle with a nature scene and having the sky left over. But none of that detracts from how much fun it is, and looking at it and remembering the movie and all of its iconic scenes. So these puzzles are great, and I have more to come. All that being said, if you liked the video, if you go ahead and click the like button, maybe even the subscribe button, and I look forward to bringing you more puzzles like this in the very near future. Thanks to everyone who takes 10 minutes out of their day to watch these. I truly appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.